Blog Talk Radio.
Following a choice. No effort, no work, no job, no savings of money. A choice right now between fear and love.
Of science and technology, all of the electronics and mechanical wonders are just so many millions of tons of junk unless it enhances the lives of men.
Good evening, everyone. This is Drew, and welcome to the July 23rd, 2011 broadcast of the Zeitgeist Movement Southwest Florida Chapter Blog Talk Radio Show. I hope everybody's doing well. We're going to run through some of the global, state, and local news real quick, and then make sure that we have time to get to the phones in the event you have something you'd like to share. I apologize. Last week I missed a couple calls, but we'll make sure we get them this week as long as no phones go down. And if they do, I'll be back within like 20 seconds. Bear with me. But anybody who does want to call in, feel free. Call in at 858-956-3200. That's 858-956-3200. 3200, and there also is a chat room that's going live at the blogtalkradio.com/Zeitgeist Movement SWFL page. So now I'm going to go ahead and move quickly through here, and I apologize if I'm speaking fast, but in the event we don't get any phone calls, we'll come back and revisit some of these topics. So moving forward on the global level, the Zeitgeist Media Festival, that seems to be moving by leaps and bounds. This event will be taking place at the Music Box in Hollywood, California, September 9th through September 11th, 2011. And actually, Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top just signed up to perform, and some of the other performers will be comedian Lee Camp. I don't know if you've happened to heard him, but if you haven't, check him out on YouTube. That's Lee Camp. He's a funny guy. He's kind of made some appearances on Fox News and caught him by surprise. He'll be there. The Lost Children of Babylon and Dream Circus will be there. And there are some crazy multimedia Cirque du Soleil kind of performance group and a whole bunch more. So you can stay up to date with that and see everybody who's going to be performing at zeitgeistmediafestival.org. And continuing with the global stuff, if you didn't get a chance to see it, or listen to it rather, the Blog Talk Radio show from the global level was really good on July 13th. Douglas Millett hosted the show, and he had great information regarding the tech side of things, as well as going over the yin and yang kind of being let go from his work at NASA with the advent of the space shuttle program, coming to a close earlier last week, along with some great new plans that he had for what he plans on doing for the future here in Florida as he returns. So this is all really exciting to me, seeing Douglas coming in to Florida again, and I really look forward to some of the different things that he's going to have going on, as well as updates to the zeitnews.org site and everything that surrounds that general aspect of the movement, which is very important, showing how we do have the possibilities and the realistic technology to do better things with our resources. And lastly, on the global front, last week the LA chapter had its second town hall meeting, which included more speakers and really good ideas of how to spread awareness of the movement. One idea I found kind of interesting was a concept for something he called Day Z, which basically would entail everybody who has a T-shirt and is in the movement that says the Zeitgeist Movement to the first day of every month wear a Zeitgeist T-shirt. And the idea behind that is eventually, slowly but surely, quite a few people, of course, haven't heard of this, we'll see a handful of teenagers or something in a park with this Zeitgeist Movement T-shirt. Then they get to work, and who knows, they see somebody with a Zeitgeist tie, a Zeitgeist mug or something, and then, going home, they see somebody else walking down the street with a Zeitgeist Movement T-shirt. What's all this? In one day, seeing a dozen or so instances of this, and they'll get their interest, and they'll go home and check it out at their leisure. And another good idea, just kind of random, guerrilla kind of type stuff to go out and spread awareness of the movement. And you can also see the rest of that town hall. They had some really good question and answers. You can see that at their Ustream channel, which is ustream.tv/channel/town-hall. And, yeah, it was a very interesting town hall, very enjoyable. and I strongly suggest everybody take a look at that. I've posted the last June town hall meeting that they did on our state YouTube page, which is at youtube.com/ZeitgeistFlorida, and there you can see that under the playlist of Zeitgeist Town Halls. And just as soon as I get the July one posted on YouTube, I will get that up there as well. And that kind of moves nicely into state information. There's some people on here thinking about doing town halls. You can get a lot of information from the global site there, watching some of the examples how they've done it out in L.A., and it looks like there's still interest in developing a town hall for August 23rd, I believe, in Clearwater, and that's due to take place from 1:30 p.m. to 3 p.m. at the Clearwater Library. And the library is located at 100 North Osceola Avenue in Clearwater, so stay tuned that that's still going to take place on August 23rd. And other people throughout the different websites have been inquiring about ideas on how to get a town hall developed for their area and their neck of the woods. And I've been thinking the same around, down here in Naples. And one of the thoughts that I had is I'm trying to develop a short, 15-minute introduction video, perhaps that you could play at some of these town hall events to give a, albeit very brief, overview of some of the concepts, general concepts of the movement. And I've already posted the first 4-minute section of that on the state YouTube page. You can see that in the Zeitgeist Florida chapter promo videos playlist, and hopefully I'll be posting more of that very soon, about 3 or 4 more parts to go on there. And talking about the YouTube page, for those of you who don't know, Beyond the Pale, which is the 4th installment of the Zeitgeist film series, there's a little teaser trailer out for that. I just last month kind of became aware that that's already in the works. So in the Zeitgeist film and TV playlist, you can see a short little teaser trailer for Beyond the Pale. In Orlando, they're getting ready to have a chapter meeting, continuing on with stuff in other parts of the state. And a couple people have really been putting a little bit of effort in and wanting to get more. There's a lot of people in the Orlando area, but trying to get them really pull together and go to a meeting and start organizing a little bit more fully. And the next Orlando meeting is scheduled to take place July 31st, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. That's a Sunday at 903 Mills Market. And you can find that at 903 South Mills Avenue in Orlando. And, yeah, that's going to be taking place July 31st. There should be pretty easy to find. I guess it's right outside the downtown area, and there's plenty of overflow parking, and just right across the street, some parking for it. And the last TeamSpeak meeting we had on Wednesday, there was a couple people in there that seemed really dedicated and educated folks in Orlando, and really excited to start getting together at this level at the Orlando place. And that's taking place again at Mills Market Saturday, July 31st, 5 to 7. And I hope anybody in that area can go there and check it out. You can find different links to that and different threads about the different chapter meetings and stuff at the group site as well, which is tzmfl.groupsite.com. And there's posts about the Orlando meeting, so you can keep track of who's going to be there. And it's also, there's some rather well-thought-out ideas about other marketing techniques that are going on at the group site. Somebody, again, I believe in Orlando, was talking about a mass flyer distribution campaign. And this is really kind of guerrilla style, going around and knocking on doors. People do that to sell you everything else under the sun, so why wouldn't you go ahead and do that to spread a little bit of awareness of the movement? So there at the group site, you can find his whole entire theme of how to go around doing that. You can get some informational flyers that you can pass out. And along those lines, I've also posted some flyers at the group site that are a little bit more generic in general, but it leaves some white space so that you can fill in your own information about any specific events that you have in your local area. So you can just write in what's going on there, meant for that type of stuff, not necessarily strict information, but a nice format where you can fill in your own information. It's in black and white right now, and 4 to a page, so you can print it out of your home printer, kind of save you on ink, going black and white, chop them up, fill in your information, and off you go. If you want to get something printed up at a Kinko's or in color, let me know, and I will get you color versions of everything. And moving on to Newport Richey, there's still the concert and a movie on August 4th at 7 p.m. at the West Pasco Habitat for Humanity, and this is located at 4131 Madison Street in Newport Richey. And there's going to be a movie, obviously some live entertainment as far as music goes, kind of folk jazz kind of thing going on there. And this is a fundraiser for the West Pasco Habitat for Humanity, in the hopes of encouraging more creative events to be able to continue in that, that part of the state. So you can find information on that on Facebook also. And moving on to more local stuff here in Southwest Florida specifically, Mitchell is working on a new documentary. It's called Be the Change. We had mentioned that briefly on the last show. This will chronicle some of the local activist organizations in the state of Florida, kind of primarily in South Florida, but I think it's moving on to perhaps the entire state. Some of the different organizations that will be featured, that are slated to be featured already, are the Coalition of Immokalee Workers, which are trying to fight for a good, fair wage for everybody working on the farms out there to get us the food that we eat. Even some things as simple as a penny more per pound for tomatoes, goes a long way. And these are the types of small things that they're working for. The Habitachi Center and Ellen Peterson, who's doing good work out there. And Ellen, you should check her out. She's kind of in the vein of Jacques Fresco. It's inspiring to see, older folks that are really still spending their time trying to improve their surroundings. Hands Across the Sand, also, I'm sure you've seen and heard of that. They will be featured in the film. EPEC, which is the Environmental Peace and Education Center, will be in there as well. Earth First as well, and also, of course, the Zeitgeist movement will be in there. And anybody who wants to get involved and contribute to this film in any way, go ahead and get in touch with Mitchell. You can find him at BeTheChangeFilm.com is the website that we just got up and going. I helped out a little bit with that, as did Chris. Much thanks for getting the hosting and everything rolling with that. So BeTheChangefilm.com, is now live, and they also have a YouTube page at youtube.com/BeTheChangeFilm. And there you can find promos of the movie as well as more smaller documentaries, smaller informational clips on the different organizations that are going to be featured in the film. So you can be a little bit more familiar with the kind of work that they're doing. And also I think that's very indicative of the appealing possibilities that I see with the advent of the natural evolution of the Zeitgeist movement and the Venus Project. It seems to me that the Zeitgeist movement, in its efforts to further promote the awareness of a resource-based economy, is now really making a concerted effort to work and make folks aware of other organizations, and that's fantastic. It's great to be involved with and aware of all these different activist groups that are in your area, and being able to have access to like-minded people doing good things. And on that note of like-minded people doing good things, another organization I believe is fantastic, and hopefully I can speak with Mitchell about perhaps being included in the film, is Food Not Bombs. And they've been most notably lately in the Orlando area. They're basically an organization that feeds the homeless. They go to different parks and places throughout the community, and they literally set up camp and feed the homeless. And you'd think on its face, that's a wonderful thing. That's what we need to do. The economy is not exactly what it was. In case you haven't seen, jobs are this and that, not moving in the right direction. However, at least some local people are feeding the homeless. Well, that isn't looked upon so keenly by certain government officials, such as mayors, police department, etc., and they've been arrested, shut down, and it seems absurd to me on its face how that could be looked at as a negative thing or something that needs to be deterred. However, they are not deterred. So Food Not Bombs is a fantastic organization that I've seen happening around here in Florida. And regarding that on a more local level, this Wednesday, July 27th, at Cool Hand Luke's in Fort Myers, there's going to be a benefit concert for Food Not Bombs. It's going to take place from 9 p.m. to 11:30 p.m., again on Wednesday, July 27th, at Cool Hand Luke's in Fort Myers. And the money that's going to be raised from that will go to buy food and supplies for the first public feeding here in the Southwest Florida area, which is planned tentatively for August 13th at the Centennial Park. So if anybody wants to get out and see the progress on that, and you're in Fort Myers on Wednesday, July 27th, trying to get involved with Food Not Bombs here on a much more local level. So outside of that, we also have the Naples Really, Really Free Market, and that's going to be Saturday, August 6th at 10 a.m. in Flushman Park. And as it implies, it's really, really free. All kinds of free entertainment, baked goods, you name it. And again, people that have this general mindset of maybe you can interact with others and exchange goods without money being involved, that there's still a way to do that and enjoy other people's company. And if anybody in the entire area from Fort Myers down happens to want to go down there for August 6th, I plan on being there. I'd love to meet some of you people in person a little bit. and that's going to be happening in Flushman Park, 10 a.m., Saturday, August 6th, the really, really free market.